wake up, man. And then
Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils
top of
show.
the morning to you.
I'm Anthony Tosh. He's
Yeah, you
Shawn
are.
Paz.
Yeah, he is.
He is the debt collector known as Shane Diefenbach.
You can't just take a nickname from somebody else and give it to him.
The
I can't.
debt collector?
Yeah.
Derek's nickname.
No, you're the debt collector now.
No,
Derek
I'm
has
not.
many nicknames.
Does he?
Yes. Well, I mean, he's the mayor. He's the debt collector. He's Cap Caveman. with a
That's
K.
fair. That's totally fair. What's up, chat? How we doing? Charles in the chat. Chris already in the chat.
Yo.
Got a lot of basketball to talk
Boing,
to
boing,
today.
boing.
Boing, boing, boing,
That
boing,
reminds
boing.
me. You ever see the presidential TikToks where it's like all the old presidents
Yes.
and I just fucking George Bush's and all of those just presidential bing bong. I don't know why that shit is hilarious to me.
Aside from Arizona State sports, which we're
And
going to get
presidential
into,
bing bongs.
and yes, that. How we doing today?
Good. It's hard to separate Arizona State sports from how I'm feeling because I was
Because ball is life.
yeah, ball is life. I was on bets this morning, and then all of a sudden I got that ring. And I looked at my phone.
And it was
Bobby
just,
Hurley forks up tweet notification. I just got so fired up. Like I tried to physically inject that tweet into my veins.
didn't work? Or?
Didn't work. Yeah,
It's tragic.
couldn't figure out how to do that.
What
I
about you,
want to
Shawn?
mainline a Bobby Hurley tweet.
I mean, as you know, I can't lift my arms above my head. I went to the gym with this guy right here, Totri, yesterday. Kind of kicked my ass. Should I tell the story about how I almost fucking face
Oh
planted?
my gosh, yeah, that
This
was
was
funny.
honestly one of the funnier things that has ever happened. Like to me, it shouldn't have been funny to me, but I just laugh these kind of things off. We did a full workout. We're doing shoulders and chest. At the end of it, it's like, okay, we're gonna do a few sets of push-ups. I'm like, all right, word. We get the mats out. We go to do push-ups. I go to get down on my hands and knees. Immediately, almost completely face plant because I cannot feel my shoulders, and I just couldn't do the push-ups. I couldn't manage a single push-up yesterday after the workout.
Chat, did you hear that? Sean went to the gym yesterday.
I did good.
Sean's in the lab.
I'm in the lab,
Sean's
Watch
in the
out,
lab. Can we get the one shot?
Watch out, everybody.
Can we get the one shot on Sean?
Watch out, everybody.
Look out.
This man right here,
You can already tell.
hide your girlfriends and your wives.
No, just your wives.
Just okay. Just
Actually,
your wives.
I mean, Sean's a respectable guy. He's not a home wrecker, so you don't have to hide either of those people.
Hey, he's not home
I'll
wrecking.
wreck a home.
There are things called home
I'll
improvement.
ruin your marriage.
So- it's home improvement, not home wrecking.
True.
That's all we're saying.
True.
ASU
Holland's
basketball.
short, bro.
Home improvement for them.
You're on the what?
I said Tom Holland short.
Oh,
Oh, you're talking about Zendaya?
Yeah, you know.
No,
She
I
knew.
got you. I got
She
you.
knew.
That's totally fair. ASU basketball. Home
Didn't say
improvement for them. DFA not getting renovations, but the roster is
Sean might be able to help. Not that Sean, but this Sean.
no. This Sean
He
definitely
might be able to
can
help with renovations.
Yeah, he can reach.
Yeah.
The
Super-
lights, see if you can
yeah.
actually get like
Yeah,
lighting
if there's a
system
pipe
that's not dog
that's
shit.
burst, he can.
An electric wire that breaks.
Mhm.
You can do some electrical work.
Yeah, former LSU freshman center Shawn Phillips
They're gonna say Shaq.
transferring to Arizona State. He's going to be a rising sophomore this year. Didn't have a whole lot of tape, at least in an LSU jersey. I want to say averaged like 7 minutes a game, something around that. But his best game of the season came toward the end of the year, playing against Georgia. 25 minutes, had a double-double, 13 points, 10 boards, 2 blocks. We were watching some of his high school tape prior to the show. Shawn, what did you think of Shawn Phillips? Just from what you saw, obviously it was years ago, and he was a 7-footer playing against high schoolers.
Yeah.
But obviously his tape definitely had some things that you were excited about.
I mean, there's a few things. I mean, the glaring thing off rip is he like rebounds the basketball. He doesn't
Yeah.
swat at it. He actually catches it with 2 hands and then tries to go back up. He just plays strong. Shane said it like that is actually. We had Warren, who was a 7-footer, but that was a tall man. Like this guy, at least in high school, which I guess is a lot easier when you're playing against much smaller kids, but like. He actually looked like he had interest in being a big man.
Yeah.
Like he looked at interest in physically asserting himself in a way that not that necessarily Warren didn't want to, but just wasn't physically capable of. He was obviously a rather skinny guy.
Yeah.
For being a 7-footer. I just like that it seems like we have a new wrinkle to this roster that was not there yesterday, which is a guy who is at least willing to bang down low. Thought we had that in Enoch. Hopefully that's not what we didn't
It's
just get
recursion.
another Enoch.
This is
a
just
slightly
recursion.
taller Enoch. But this guy, I mean, Enoch, you give Enoch a couple inches and a couple years, another year.
No,
in college.
you liposuction Enoch to height. Like you took some of his meat off of his bones. Can you relax?
You can't. No, you can't.
You can't
You
just say
can't.
you can take
Okay,
some.
Yes, I know what he said
let's
too.
just stop. You took some of his strength and you added height.
Yeah.
So he's a little
Stretch him
skinnier.
out a little
Yeah, you literally combined Warren and Ian.
I mean, like I said when we were watching the tape, he looks like a 7-footer who was like supposed to be 7 feet tall and not someone who's supposed to be like 6'9" and was just stretched out.
Yeah, and I'm really happy he can't shoot.
yeah.
He looks like a 7-footer that knows he's 7 feet tall.
Yes.
He had some post moves even in high school.
Yeah,
that was I like seeing a little bit too.
Yeah, the footwork looks good. He looks like he doesn't look like a Dalmatian where he's like, or not a Great Dane.
Yeah.
I had a Great Dane Dalmatian. That's why I make that mention.
Did you really? That's
Yeah,
adorable.
R.I.P. Gracie.
That's
But
a great
that hasn't grown into its body quite yet.
Yeah.
That's
just kind of
Enoch-y.
Kind of Enoch-y.
Like and the game against Georgia, though it was an outlier, it was because there was an injury. What's his name? Not KJ Williams, the other guy. He has a silly name. Hold on, give me 1 second. Wasn't able to play.
Yeah.
Fountain. Derek Fountain wasn't able to play. So when you get your number called and you step up, it's a good sign, especially as a true freshman. Like,
yeah. And I know we talked a little bit before the show started in terms of like LSU was not a good basketball team last year, right? But like the competition in the SEC was pretty dominant all season long. So for him to get the experience that he did, even if it wasn't a 20-minute or even a 15-minute per game kind of guy, like that is experience that you are now taking to a conference in the Pac-12 that, to be quite frank with you, like there aren't a lot of giants in this conference. Obviously, U of A has what they have in terms of size over the last couple of years, looking at Umar Ballo, a Christian Coloco. And I think that's what's really interesting to me in terms of like zooming outside of Shawn Phillips for a second, just looking at the transfers that ASU has gotten, right, is you brought it up, like they're a lot taller. This team is going to be a tall team. You've got a Kamari Lands. You've got a guy like Zane Meeks. You've got a guy in Shawn Phillips. You might get Warren Washington back. The expectation is you'll get Warren Washington back.
Gaffney.
And you still got Alonzo Gaffney. Like there are a lot of guys on this team.
You're expecting to get Alonzo Gaffney
that
back.
They're tall, dude.
Yeah.
They create matchup problems, whether they are dominant like by themselves or can create their own shot, which none of these big men really can, right?
Hey.
Which don't say Zane Meeks.
Alonzo Gaffney.
He can't create his own shot.
Dude.
You know he can't create his own shot.
I'm just kidding. Zane Meeks.
But it gives you a matchup nightmare for some of these teams in the quote unquote Conference of Champions, right? Because not every team.
Hey.
What?
Why the hell are you doing that?
Just baby shots? Like here we
The
go.
quote unquote, it is the Conference of Champions.
It's not in the sports that we talk about.
Come on.
It is.
That was a low blow.
It is the Conference of Champions because someone's got to win the Pac-12 championship.
Yeah.
There's a champion every year.
There's a champion every year. There's multiple champions every year.
True.
These transfers have created matchup nightmares already for teams in the Pac-12. I would say more so than the transfer class from last season.
We'll see, because I still don't see where the scoring is coming from.
It's just going to appear.
Jermaine Neal is going to drop.
Yeah.
Game.
So this is an interesting thing too. Obviously this wasn't done intentionally, because I don't think you can intentionally go out and look for this grouping. But now this is the second time in as many years where Bobby Hurley has recruited a big and a guard from the same school.
Yeah,
true.
And one of them is a bucket getter.
Totally forgot about Ace.
And the other is a tall guy. And I don't think people are thinking about Ace enough, because I think that's your leading scorer right now. I think it is.
So I mean, Chris said in the chat, this first round picks for Jaden Daniels. I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
I think we can all agree though, if Warren doesn't come back,
then you're in
that
a little
front
bit of
court
a
is
tougher-
raw.
Yeah,
it is
like
raw is a good way to put it. I don't think it's definitely necessarily
It's
like
fucking raw.
I don't think it's like
You
a
donkey. My favorite.
You're an
donut.
idiot. You're an idiot sandwich.
I wish
Just
you
calling
know
people
that's not real,
pastries and
right?
shit.
Like I didn't realize
The
the
idiot
longest
sandwich
time
one?
that was from like a skit.
Mm.
It wasn't him being serious. And
No.
I thought it was from like
You've
a
watched
real.
Hell's Kitchen though before,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
Oh
No,
my
like
God.
that's why I thought it was
Yes,
real, because
chef.
I was just like that seems like something he would do.
It's raw, you donut. My favorite
But
one.
when he gets around children, he's like super nice.
Yeah.
Jordan Ramsey's kind of the goat. But yeah, raw is a good way to put it. I don't think it's necessarily like they're screwed. Like I think the
if
front
Warren
there-
doesn't come back.
yeah, like I think there is talent there that has a lot of potential, but it's definitely you're not feeling very comfortable.
Yeah.
You need guys to take steps.
This team right now, if I just had to guess, is 16-14 next year.
It's such a, like, I don't know. This team going into last season, I think there were a lot of question marks because you didn't know, at least from my perspective, what you were going to get from both of the Cambridge brothers. I think you saw the potential. I mean, in the tape, you saw it on the stat sheet, but I don't think, at least you may have thought this, I didn't think you were going to be getting 20 points a game or a Pac-12 tournament 25-point game performance.
I did.
So, and credit to you.
No, but where I didn't think at all was you weren't going to get Devin Cambridge to start and score.
Yeah, and I think that is the era now that we live in terms of NIL and the transfer portal, right? Is these mix and matches that you got, right? Like you've got players now from LSU, USF, and 2 players from LSU. And 1 from Louisville. Like you got a bunch of guys, some that coming back from ASU. Let's not forget Frankie transferred in from Michigan last season. Like it's just like a total mix and match of players. And whether they're here for a year, 2 years, it's like, okay, can you gel? Do you complement each other?
Outside of the 2 freshmen coming in, is anyone in this roster? Did anyone in this roster start here?
Frankie?
No. Started at ASU.
Oh, started at ASU. Jemiah.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Because Gaffney was a transfer.
Didn't, Warren obviously didn't. Frankie obviously
I think it might
didn't.
just be Jemiah.
That's crazy.
Well,
I mean, but it's not really crazy.
Again,
that's just college basketball.
Yeah, well, it is college basketball because I brought up this when everyone was freaking out earlier. Kansas State had no players that started at Kansas State on their team that went as deep as they did in the tournament this year. So you just got to learn to win different ways. LSU got a stud, by the way, Carlos Stewart from Santa Clara. So they got somebody to replace them. And Ryan Nemhard, we haven't done this yet, so I just gotta. Well, I thought he was going to U of A.
Happened?
What happened?
What had happened was he went to Gonzaga.
Oh,
eat your hearts out.
Maybe the other Nemhard will come play for you guys.
So Josh says if he's not back, they'll get an experienced center. I don't know
if they will.
Hunter Dickinson.
Is he still
Can
in
we go over the? We went over the roster that one time. Can we go over it again now?
We can. So you've got Frankie Collins.
Okay.
You've got Ace. You've got Jemiah Neal.
Ace Wolf.
My apologies.
What's his actual name again?
Adam Miller.
Yeah. Adam Miller, Jemiah Neal.
Completely forgot what his real name was.
Kamari Lands, Zane Meeks.
Well, let's get the starters. So
assuming that Frankie and Warren come back.
Assuming that I don't know if we can assume Warren comes back.
Assuming Gaffney.
Okay. Let's pick. If we had to just choose right now, leaning one way or the other, is Warren Washington coming back? I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say
you say no now.
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no as well.
I'm going to say he comes back.
I'm about 51% that he doesn't come back. I'm so close.
Don't know. I just don't have anything that's making me feel confident that he is going to be on. Like he's going to come back. I don't know. I just don't feel.
Just a gut feeling.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he comes back.
Okay.
Obviously, the rosters look completely different if he's not here. At least the starting 5 does.
Okay, then let's assume he comes back because that's what a lot of people I think are assuming right now.
Frankie Collins. Adam Miller. Jemiah Neal. And I know this is where we kind of differentiate here.
Akeel Watson.
You are going Akeel Watson starting?
No. It'd be fun, though.
It would be real fun.
It'd be really fun. No.
Are you going Meeks? Are you going... I'm going Kamari at the 4.
Okay.
And then I'm taking Warren at the 5.
We can appease both crowds, Warren or Shawn Phillips.
At the 5.
That's probably who would start if Warren doesn't come back.
I agree.
Okay. So those are starting 5. First guy off the bench is probably Malachi.
I keep forgetting about Malachi. Yes. Malachi comes off the bench.
Is he in Tempe?
I know we had this conversation.
Is he a real player?
He is.
Are we sure?
He is.
Okay. And then
probably Zane Meeks after that.
Zane, and then you have the 2 freshmen.
I would say probably Braylon Green after that.
That is so deep already.
Yeah.
And who are we forgetting?
Akeel and Gaffney.
No, I said Akeel and Braylon Green.
Gaffney.
That's 5.
Yeah.
Off the bench already. Are we missing somebody? Nope.
No, I don't think we're missing anybody.
I thought we had 11.
I don't think we're missing anybody. I mean, but just those guys right there, they've all got experience outside of the freshmen, outside of Akeel and Braylon. I am confident with where they're at now. I know, like, in a perfect world, Devin Cambridge is still on this roster. He's your 4. Then I am far more like comfortable with where they're at. I think there is a question mark still just in terms of how this team is going to gel. Your point about the scoring, is it going to be Adam Miller's team? Is it going to be, from an offensive perspective, is Adam Miller going to be a guy? Does Jemiah Neal take that big step? And is he there? Does Frankie finally elevate his game to where he can be both a facilitator and a true scorer? Like, to the big men, is this the year that we see ASU really turn into one of those schools where they're able to utilize these 7-footers in terms of a scoring perspective? I just think it is a giant mystery box right now, and you have no idea what you could get, but the potential could be really, really fun if you can get a 10-man rotation, and if you can get your freshmen, Akil Watson and Braylon Green, to like score.
Somebody's going to surprise you.
I think it's Malachi. I think Malachi Davis surprises people.
It'd be fun, man.
It would
I
be.
think Alonzo Gaffney surprises people.
It depends. Do you get the Alonzo Gaffney that
wild card ad team?
Do you get the Alonzo Gaffney that showed up for the TCU
for
game?
80 from the corner on the year?
Do you get the Gaffney that shows up in the TCU game?
Yes.
You're making that
You
call
think
now.
you get that night in and night out?
Not night in and night
You
out.
get
I
that
think you
night
get it
in,
more
night
often.
out. This is a top 14
I think you get
conference.
Oh, I think you're gonna say the country. And I was like, fucking
No.
relax. I mean, I think yeah.
What was
You
that?
can get it more often. I'm not saying night in or night out. I don't think he's gonna be like one of the best players in the conference by any means, but I think he could be a
How fun would that be?
dude. Could you imagine
If Alonzo Gaffney was a
Pac-12 Player of the Year? Start the campaigns, print the T-shirts.
No, you're not doing any of those
No.
things? Okay, that's fair. So how do you think if Warren does come back, how does Phillips fit in? Just the next big man?
You actually have a reliable big coming off the bench because we talked about him and he's fun to kind of joke about, but Gaffney was not a reliable big coming off the bench.
He's not.
I wouldn't even say he's
not
a big. I know
he's
he's
just a
tall,
dude.
but like your bigs were in reality after Warren.
It was Duke.
It was Duke and Enoch. And Enoch rode the bench the entire season, and then you had Duke. So
And Duke played 5 minutes a game.
let's just
sometimes.
compare them then. Let's just compare Duke Brennan to Shawn Phillips. Did you get an upgrade?
Can you? Dog.
Did you get an upgrade?
Dog. One is 7 feet tall.
Yes,
And
that is true.
7 feet tall.
I think he's saying yes.
Yes.
I just needed to hear that.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You did. And,
Only because he's 7 feet tall?
no, because of what he can. Look, Duke would have been if Duke's I'm very disappointed Duke left. Like it sucks because Duke is a guy that if you needed a center, he's going. You know, he can give you like 10 and 5,
And you know he's gonna put in an effort.
and he's gonna put in effort.
Yeah.
But it's not really a great guy to just have come off the bench because in that second unit, you're like, okay, but sometimes I don't want 3 points and 2 rebounds with a missed free throw and 4 fouls. Like
15 balls divin after. After.
sometimes I don't need that. Sometimes I want my
Consistency?
backup center to dunk on you.
You know the energy that I get after, and I know it was just a very short taste, but watching that video of Phillips, the energy gives me KG energy.
Dude,
He might be crazy.
It gives me Kevin Garnett energy.
he headbutted the basketball at one point. Like after he dunked it. He just headbutted it out of the air.
And at the start of that video, he's literally hitting
after again he dunked the basketball on the other end. He
Yeah,
ran down
lots
the
of
other court
dunking the
and
basketball.
started punching himself in the head. Which let's be real. If I was playing against a bunch of middle schoolers on a 9-foot rim, I'd be dunking all over the place. Like the kid was a foot taller than everybody was playing with, damn near. But he played here, by the way. We didn't mention that he played.
It says he played Dayton, Ohio. Dream City Christian.
It says Glendale, Arizona on his 24/7.
Maybe he.
And Dream City Christian is in Glendale.
Oh, it says Dayton, Ohio on. Maybe that's just where he was born.
I don't know.
I think they're
Says
just
he
doing
played
that
here.
in advance of ASU being in the first 4 next year. I think that's just probably the
you
likely
need to
scenario.
get punched in the throat.
He made a
I
joke
do?
like that last night.
I did.
Yeah, when we were at the grocery store and we were on Dayton Street.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
fucking Safeway
They named their
names
aisles.
their aisles.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't know that.
Unnecessary and weird.
And we were on Dayton Street.
Why do you?
I don't hate it. I was just like it's unnecessary. I was just like
it's unnecessary, but it's a nice touch. Like you don't need that.
It's a
Hey, paint on walls is unnecessary. It is. It's
no, because the only thing I will say is that the
No.
color of walls influence, like it has like psychological effects on people. Like that's an objective fact. It does. A random street sign is unnecessary.
I mean, that's unnecessary, but guys, something
You know what's
that
unnecessary is you saying that's unnecessary because I love it.
Enough talk
You
about
love it?
I do like this. I
Okay.
think it's very fun.
That's
enough
fair.
talk about things that are
It's
unnecessary.
like Disneyland.
Let's talk about things that are absolutely necessary for
Burrito
your
Express.
golf game. I'm
Pins and
talking
Aces.
Pins and Aces, guys. Pins and Aces is the official golf apparel partner of ALLCITY and PHNX, guys. Check out Big Drive Energy wherever you get your podcasts. I don't know about you guys, but got myself a Pins and Aces t-shirt or a polo. My goodness, do I look good in that thing. And it feels good. I have yet to golf in it, so I am super excited to see just how well
How good you can look while still being bad at golf.
Well, if it... Whoa. Okay.
Listen, I say that as someone who beat you by a stroke. I'm also not going to golf.
It was Tiger and Phil, man. That's exactly what it was.
He was Tiger, I was Phil.
Absolutely.
Well,
yeah. That's how it went.
I don't want to be Phil right now. I was Phil 10 years ago.
Yeah, you were filling the Masters this year.
Phil literally just took second place in a major championship.
He also is accepting monies from the Saudis. That's more what I was getting
If you checked the...
Why'd you say it like that?
Guys,
you-
Pins and Aces, they make amazing polos, hats, golf bags, and even our favorite beer sleeve, an innovative product that allows you to store 7 beers right
stop it
inside
right now.
your golf bag and keep drinks cold the entire round. Guys, click the link in the show notes to sign up for our Keep It 100 golf tournament at Dobson Ranch on May 26th. Pins and Aces is going to be there. Prizes and so much more. Guys, check out pinsandaces.com and use code PHNX to receive 15% off your first order and get free shipping. Again, that's pinsandaces.com.
If I saw that on the court, Josh, I would have to take one of what Sean's about to talk about.
What do you think of Lands at the 3 and Meeks at the 4? I don't hate. Wait.
Dog.
No. Jemiah has to start.
No, but fuck Jemiah starting. Putting Kamari Lands and Zane Meeks and Warren Washington on the court at the same time. I wouldn't want anybody to dribble the basketball.
Just Frankie?
Yeah,
Assuming he's
that
back?
would be terrible.
What happens if Frankie doesn't come back?
Kamari Lands is 6'8".
Oh, yeah, I forgot that he's technically not back.
Yeah,
Technically.
Frank Gones.
Oh, he's coming back, I know, but technically he's not.
Jalen Conyers starting at the 3 for
Why
Arizona
not?
State basketball.
Why not? He thinks he's good at basketball, at least. Maybe he is.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. I was
You
just...
said it like I said something super scandalous.
No. Not at all. I was just,
You need to relax.
Okay.
Calm down.
Tell me how.
Take an OGs.
There you go.
And relax. Calm down. Just, play it cool.
Hey.
Play it
There's steam literally coming off your head.
Dude, it's not that deep.
Sorry.
Take an OGs. Calm down.
You look like the Colossal Titan right now.
I started watching Attack on Titan, by the way.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
What episode?
I don't remember exactly.
So you saw the Colossal Titan, though?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm trying.
Hey, are you an anime guy?
No.
Take some OGs, start watching Attack on
Yeah,
Titan.
you would love it.
Dude, it's a
Okay.
vibe. Did that this past weekend. It was a vibe. So while you need to calm down, you're just looking to hang out, have some fun, whatever. OG's got it for you. They got a bunch of different flavors, different styles. They got their Aquaberry Sleep Edition. They got their strawberries and cream, happy balance, 1-to-1 CBD THC ratio. They got whatever you might want, some microdose stuff. They're the best gummies on the planet and the galaxy, wherever you are, they're the best. And if you want them, find them at your local dispensary at ogsbrands.com. But as always, you must be 21 or older to enjoy.
Guys, you do not have to be 21 years or older to enjoy some Arizona State baseball today and tomorrow. The Sun Devils got a midweek matchup against Cal State Fullerton. I know we touched on it a little bit yesterday, but obviously the 2-game series getting started today. ASU been pretty dominant this season when it comes to midweek games. Early on in the season, I want to say they struggled. I want to say it was Oklahoma State that they lost.
They lost both
those.
games, too.
Other than that, this has been a team in ASU that has been pretty relentless in terms of scoring when it comes to midweek. Again, we're going to look past what happened last Wednesday in that U of A game, but just seeing what they were able to accomplish a couple weeks ago in their win against GCU. They got an 11-6 win over Seattle, a 6-2 win over UNLV. Like, this is a team that when it came to midweek series games or just midweek games, like, it was like, okay, you can just pretty much add that dub to the win column. This is a series, though, in Cal State Fullerton that I feel like it's almost like David and Goliath type thing here. Like, I feel like ASU is Goliath, but Cal State Fullerton isn't that small.
Yeah, I mean, you could have a giant. You got all this power in ASU, but He's got one guy throwing a stone. Like, if he's throwing that shit at the right spot, it's not going to matter how good the fucking bats are.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the thing with this Cal State Fullerton team. You look at the games they've played, they don't give up runs. Like, they obviously, it's college baseball. They have games where they've given up a bunch of runs. But by and large, they're not giving up more than 5-6 runs a game. And obviously, ASU doesn't win those games. Like, they don't win games where normally they're not winning games where they're not winning low scoring games.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what gives ASU's bats or Cal State's.
Can we start
Fullerton's
saying that?
pitching.
What
gives, dude?
That's sure.
Can we start saying that?
Yeah.
People
I thought you
say
said,
it.
can we stop saying that?
No.
I didn't know that was something we said.
Uh-uh.
But yeah, what gives, dude?
Yeah. Every time, next time you say something stupid, I'll be like, "What gives, dude?"
Okay, that's
It can't be something stupid. It gotta be like whenever he says something like accusatory, like it's like.
I feel like I don't accuse you guys of things often.
No.
No, but like accusatory in your tone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cal State Fullerton on a 7-game win streak. They've won 9 of their last 10. Touched on it on Monday. Their only loss in that 10-game span is to the only Power 5 team they've played, and that was USC.
In that span.
In that span. They have beaten. They took a game against Stanford.
What did they do to UCLA?
They rocked UCLA.
15-5. Had a game canceled against U of A, but lost to Utah early in the year, though.
But this is kind of a familiar opponent as of the last couple of years for ASU. They are currently on a 6-game win streak over Cal State Fullerton. They swept them in 2021, winning all 3 games by no fewer than 2 runs. And then they swept them in 2020, winning both games by a 9+ win margin. And then in 2019, they beat them 6-4. So their last loss to Cal State Fullerton came all the way back in 2018, so half decade ago.
I hate games like this. This scheduling sucks. Like, why are you scheduling this?
Does this feel like the University of San Francisco basketball game?
Exactly. It feels like you have nothing to gain and they have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. You're not wrong. I think this is I think it's another good test for ASU, right? You're coming off a very emotional series against Oregon State. You moved up in the rankings for the 3rd consecutive week, and now you have to turn around pretty quickly at home against a team in Cal State Fullerton that is, I want to say, 10-3 on the road this season. Like, you can't look past them.
And
you can't look past these Titans, man.
Yeah, and I mean, for the first time in like a minute now, they're playing a team that does not have any like. They're playing a game that does not have like any intrinsic meaning in it. I guess, if that makes any sense. Like, they're not playing a conference opponent. Like, they've been in the middle of a schedule, like you said, an emotional series against Oregon State. Obviously got their ass kicked by U of A prior to that. And then it was a series against Washington, and the game against that before that, rival GCU.
Yeah.
And then before that, series against Washington State. Like, they haven't played. It's been a minute since they've played a game against a team that does not, like, on paper doesn't have nothing that's going to get them up for that game.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how they respond that coming off of, like you said, an emotional series.
And it's sandwiched in between some pretty important series for ASU. Looking at their next 9 games following the 2 that they've got against Cal State Fullerton.
Oh my God.
You've got 3 road games against Oregon, 3 home games against Stanford,
and then
3 road games against USC.
And then
UC Riverside.
Fucking why?
Well, that's what I'm telling you. That's
On
the
a
conversation
Monday.
we were having yesterday. I don't like these California schools.
I know, but UCR specifically.
Yeah, I know. That's why. Well, I had mentioned it earlier in the year. I was like, "What is it with the Pac-12 giving us a gauntlet of Southern California schools to end the year?"
They're gonna win out until UCR.
Wow.
And then they lose?
Yep.
They sweep Stanford?
Just kidding.
I was gonna.
It's a joke.
Oh damn! I was like, yeah, fucking, let's do it.
So getting back to tonight's game specifically, do they win? Do you think that ASU is able to rebound emotionally and mentally and get back to winning and I guess continuing?
They already rebounded.
I mean, extending what is currently a 6-game win streak.
I think they win
their
tonight and they lose tomorrow in a weird 2 p.m. game.
So they beat Cal State Fullerton tonight.
And then they lose to Cal State Fullerton tomorrow in a weird. I just don't like that 2 p.m. start. That makes me uncomfortable.
Cal State Fullerton
well, it's going to make Cal State Fullerton uncomfortable too because it's going to be warm.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You make points.
True. But they do play well on the road. Cal State Fullerton does play well at the road, but
do they play well in the desert?
I don't know.
Well, can you look at the aridity factor?
What? I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
Aridness?
Arid.
Something
like that's
dry.
dry.
Yeah. Can you look up the aridity factor? Milo, get your
Poor chap. No, mate.
Yeah. I think they won both.
The only game they were supposed to have in the desert was against Arizona.
Aridity death row. What is that?
I didn't mean that.
Oh, that's like a whole. That's a person.
I think they win both of these games.
You think they win both?
Yep.
Okay. What about you?
I answered that question already.
Oh,
but,
yeah, you're right.
I think they win.
Sorry,
today
I
and
was
they lose.
I was
threw 'em off.
busy. I
That's
was
all
on
it
the
is.
Reddit. Death.
Yeah.
What gives?
What gives,
Wait,
dude?
that was to him, right?
No, that
No,
was
it's
to you.
to you. What
Why?
gives? Because you weren't paying attention
Yeah,
to what I
but
was
he
saying.
sent me back. He sent me back. It was
What?
like a Uno reverse, or you made me draw from the pile.
What are you talking about?
What do you want a high five for?
Yes.
What do you-
He said, "What do you want a high five for?" Yes.
Yes. No.
Why?
That's so
Doing over here?
disrespectful.
Terrible.
What did I say to him at the start? Oh, I gave you the.
Yeah, he gave him the. We went to go fist bump before the show, and
He's like,
Tochi was like,
I'll be with you in a
"Please
minute.
wait."
Okay. Well, guys, a place they won't do that is Burrito Express. They are fast, reliable, and my goodness, are those burritos good for your tummies and your cup holders.
Isn't it kind?
Guys, we say it every single day. I don't know if I am more consistent in anything than my fight for you guys to try Burrito Express. The steak, egg, add bacon goes crazy. I have yet to have something from Burrito Express that doesn't have my tummy smiling by the end of the afternoon. They got locations all over the valley.
We haven't even really ventured into like we've stayed in like 10% of the menu. We haven't even explored.
Yeah.
We got to be more adventurous.
It's like the ocean. We don't really know. Don't want to wander too far.
Except we know exactly what's on the menu. It's just we haven't.
No, you're right. I'm wrong. Guys, Burrito Express. Get it in you and give them a follow at Burrito EXP.
It's more like outer space. We know it's out there. We just haven't been there yet.
Ah,
I mean, there's
They
galaxies out there.
certainly don't know everything that's
Yeah.
out in
I
outer
know,
space.
but like there's
could be a
far away
giant
galaxies
floating
that we haven't
blob
been
out
to
there.
yet.
No.
We know they're there.
It's like having a house with a backyard that extends into like a forest, and you have the map for the forest, but you just stay in your backyard.
that's terrifying.
Whoa,
I'd rather
whoa,
go
yeah.
space than the forest.
Just I don't know, dude. Sometimes my head is working and my
4
mouth is just like,
Peaks.
no, we're not gonna do that today.
I will not be there at 4 Peaks for the NFL draft.
Are the Cardinals drafting you? Is that what's happening?
Shut the fuck
Oh,
up,
sorry.
dude. Shut up.
I just didn't know if your odds were gonna be posted. It's my bad.
Start a Reddit
Carry on,
thread.
sorry.
I
Start
was
a
waiting
Reddit
for
thread.
Jacob to play the draft song.
Oh, you damn! That was
It's
too late now.
No, it's not. The Arizona Cardinals are not on the clock yet, but Bo and Johnny, you are now on the clock. Because the NFL draft is at 4 Peaks
What is that? Chimes?
this Thursday. Yeah, that's Chimes.
Yeah.
This Thursday, April 27th, 2 p.m. Make sure to join Johnny and Bo for a
Yeah,
great
Bo.
time and a bunch of other PHNX. Are you guys going to be there?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a good time.
After
It'll be a
class,
vibe.
yeah.
After class. For
Yeah.
those of you who have registered, we look forward to
there.
seeing you there. But make sure to register. I think there's only 5
There's only 5
RSVPs.
spots left. So
Yeah.
do it now.
Maybe even less.
Holy, 2,
6?
No,
You
Jacob was just counting.
Jacob just did not count
just
in a way
out
that
here
made any sense.
throwing numbers.
Regardless where you're watching it, make sure you're
Why are you
enjoying
counting?
a delicious Redbird lager. But you got to be
You just,
21
like,
plus to enjoy responsibly.
Yeah, you do, but you don't got to be 20 plus to enjoy them chicken tendies, guys. Kind of works out perfectly that we're talking about 4 Peaks in the NFL draft because apparently Will Levis is going first overall, guys. Everybody in consensus that
Where's
the
Xavier?
Will Levis is
or-
going to be a Carolina
Xavier
Panther.
Valade going?
Huh? Where's
said-
Xavier Valade going to
yeah.
go? Ooh, Xavier Valade is an undrafted free agent signed by the Los Angeles Chargers. And he eventually starts at running back when Austin Eckler gets traded for a 3rd round pick.
He is the 7th round draft pick of the New England Patriots.
Ew. I don't want him to go to the
Neither do
Patriots.
I. I don't want anyone good ever to go to the New England Patriots. But
Yeah, but
It's
it's
not how
not.
the
It's
world
not
works.
necessarily because it's not because I dislike them. It's just like it's gross.
and also I don't want to see a running back waste time in well,
In New
actually,
England?
if he went to New England, you could almost guarantee that he would have one season where he's like an absolute fantasy darling.
You could
And then you would
guarantee
never
he'd
hear
have
from
one
him again.
game like that.
That's fair. That's probably more.
Where it's
that's
just like,
probably more
wait,
accurate.
who
Ooh,
went
the
for
Bengals would be fun.
Who went for 200?
Dude, can you imagine X in that all white, the white Bengal unis?
Ooh, that would go pretty crazy. Where do you think X goes?
Where would you like him to go?
Where would I like him to
Dream
go?
Because
scenario.
where you think he's gonna go is it's
Yeah.
a fucking it's
Yeah,
a
for-
fruitless exercise.
For a guy that's like a
Yeah.
day 3 or
A fruitless exercise. Wow.
UDFA guy. I don't really have a fit for him that I like. I mean, I think he'll fit anywhere. He
Yeah.
doesn't like Rashad White was such a that's a pass catching back.
Yeah.
Like that's why Buccaneers Patriots
Hey.
was my
Maybe the
pick.
Bucks.
yeah, but
You want to come here?
I wouldn't hate that. X and Rashad White in the same backfield,
Can
a
you
1-2
imagine
combo.
An ASU backfield in the NFL.
Where'd Lenny go? Is he still there?
I don't think so. I think they let him walk,
Where
didn't
did
they?
he go?
I don't think he signed anywhere. Like, why would you sign him? He's a washed running
Dude.
back.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
That man in college was so.
He was filthy.
They played at Syracuse while I was there. Holy shit! Like he is like the second most dominant college athlete I've ever seen live behind Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson live was a freak.
Getting to the real news here. Xavier Valade is whatever happens with him. Obviously, we want him on an NFL roster, but
first
it's
overall
more of a
draft
day
pick.
3 thing. I want to get your guys' opinions and
NFL
takes
draft.
on the Will Levis,
The
Bryce
Carolina
Young,
Panthers
CJ
select
Stroud, Anthony Rich, like the whole quarterback
Love it.
situation that you are getting right now in terms of what are you talking
I
about?
was doing
You're just like a narrator sometimes.
with the first overall pick in the NFL draft. The Carolina Panthers select Will Levis.
You think so? Realistically.
No. Absolutely not.
And if they do,
So for
I'm
all
done
those
football-
for all
watching
those
football.
listening and watching, if you guys don't know what happened this morning, Will Levis's odds were plus 4,000 on most books last night, and this morning they shot up to plus 400 because of a Reddit post. Somebody posted that he told his friends and family that he's going to be drafted by the Panthers, and for some reason people believed him and just ran with it.
is there any? Do you think there are any legs to that?
There's no validity to that. No. The Carolina Panthers, if they draft Will Levis, they should be fined.
They
should be fine.
No, they
Yes.
should have. They should. The program should be.
The program.
They shouldn't exist anymore. They should fold.
I just don't like if you have Bryce Young, Will Levis, you could throw CJ Stroud in that conversation because I know the whole rumor when that trade was done was that originally it was originally going to be for CJ Stroud. Does Will Levis do anything better than CJ Stroud
Throws
or
the
Bryce
ball
Young?
harder.
But like you're not
Yeah,
making
that's
that
my
pick
biggest thing with Will
because he
Levis.
throws the ball harder.
You asked me a question. I answered.
No,
it.
I know. That's the only thing though that Will Levis does better
He's
than the
taller.
other two. Is that better?
He's stronger.
You're taller than me. Does that make you better than me?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Whoa.
No, but I mean, if we're talking about,
That's
if we're talking about
Are you fucking better
looking
than
over
me?
the offensive line, then maybe like we're not talking about.
I mean, but we've seen quarterbacks that are
No,
Bryce
I
Young
know.
and CJ Stroud
Well,
stature
listen,
succeed.
I'm not sitting here defending Will Levis. I think he's going to be.
Well,
dog shit in
CJ
the NFL.
Stroud's not short. Bryce Young is short for a quarterback, and that's
Yes.
why people. But again,
So was Drew Brees.
I've been on the record saying Bryce Young, in my opinion, is the best quarterback prospect I've seen in 10 years. That's my opinion. Like I think
Better
he
than
does
Joe
everything
B?
right, and I think he's been so undervalued still. Even though he's the consensus #1 pick, people are bored with him because they think he's just going to be a guy that dishes and dinks and dunks. And while he is good at that, turn the tape on, man. Look what he did against some of the nation's top defenses this year. Look what he did against Texas A&M. Look what he did when he needed to score, and he was dead to rights. Look at his evasiveness in the pocket. He's
He's a gamer, dog.
he's going to be a very, very talented NFL quarterback. If you're talking about pure upside, though, I mean, the clear is Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that is your guy.
That's
It-
my thing with Will Levis is why like
Well, I would say he has got the second best upside.
yeah, but that's my point. Like if you're drafting for upside,
Yeah.
you're drafting
Oh, yeah.
Anthony
Yeah.
Richardson. If you're drafting the guy that you think you could probably put in week 1, you're drafting Bryce Young
Yeah.
or
Well,
Bryce. Or,
I think
or
it's
Stroud.
because Will Levis's like boom is larger than Anthony Richardson's bust. Like I think
yeah.
it's more
Oh, I
possible
agree.
that Anthony Richardson will bust than Will Levis will boom.
Also, I feel like, and I mean that for obvious reasons, I'm always the one to do this.
Because he's white.
The owners there's plenty of owners who are like that's an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them, except they're probably like wish he didn't have tattoos.
I will say at
true.
the
That's why I
combine,
was never an NFL quarterback.
at the combine, we were able to listen to Stroud, Young, no Will Levis. I didn't hear him speak. I think he was somewhere else. Maybe he wasn't even there. And Richardson speak. And obviously, these two guys, Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, are coached up media wise.
Yeah.
Like completely, like they weren't saying anything. Maybe Anthony Richardson is a little more lax his media training, but also maybe he just doesn't give a shit. Anthony Richardson, if anyone has it's Anthony Richardson.
In this
Like,
draft.
Like out of those three guys, in terms of just like I don't know what their personalities are like off the field, but just like hearing him talk, you can just kind of tell, like he knows who he is. And Bryce Young is such a typical like I'm just here to win games. I'm just here to win football games.
He
And
gives
that's awesome.
Coach's son energy.
It's fine. Yeah, he does give Coach's son energy. And CJ Stroud's kind of the same way, but he's like a combination of them both.
Yeah.
Richardson was like, this guy is. I was not a believer before I heard him speak, and after I heard him talk, I was like, I'm a believer. Like that's genuine. Like, and I don't know if it was just because I was looking up in pure size and the deepness of his voice. Have you ever heard him talk?
No.
Oh, it's like this, man.
Really?
I'm just out here to win games. It's crazy.
You know how
Go ahead.
pissed I would be if I was a Florida fan? Like, this motherfucker is about to be potentially the first overall draft pick, even though I don't think it. Like, he's going to be the top 5 pick potentially.
Yeah.
And he's dog shit. Like, he was not good at Florida. He was not good. That team was not good.
I know. People forget.
The one thing that I'll say before we get out of here, the comparison that you give in terms of the way they speak and like just Anthony Richardson knowing who he is. I know these quarterbacks are different, but the 3 that you have here that I would make the case are the 3 best quarterbacks in this draft, right? A Bryce Young, a CJ Stroud, and Anthony Richardson versus the 2020 draft, the quarterbacks that you had in that class being Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and Tua Tagovailoa. Like 2 quarterbacks that speak in a similar way of a Bryce Young and a CJ Stroud, where you're Justin Herbert and your Tua, and your I know who I am, I'm that guy, is your Joe Burrow. So obviously whatever's on the field is, it is going to be what it's going to be. But just from that perspective.
Yeah, I also think a lot of why Joe Burrow has that personality is because of what him at Ohio State and then LSU. And, I don't know, throwing 63 touchdowns to 7 interceptions.
Yeah. But I feel like, from what I heard, he was just like that at Ohio State. Like, I feel like I've heard people talk about that before. It's like that was just kind of always who Joey B was.
Yeah.
Just that guy.
Joe Shiesty?
Listen, I have a lot of my, like, I don't, not that anyone is going to be like fucking pulling up receipts when Anthony Richardson is a bust, but personally, I have a lot personally invested in Anthony Richardson being good because I've said many times that I think he's going to be good.
You place any bets on Anthony Richardson being good?
I did have a bet on him going first overall at one point.
I took Tyree Wilson to go first overall when I was at the combine because I was hearing things. And now he's going to go second overall, it sounds like, and I'm very sad.
Yeah, I mean, it was not a bad shout when the Bears had the pick. I don't know if they made that trade before or after the combine. But
they did. They had that. They had the pick still.
The Bears.
Yeah, they made the trade when we were in Vegas for the Pac-12 tournament.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So great shout in theory. But yeah,
it was like plus 20,000.
Yeah, I think I had like plus 5,000 on Anthony Richardson to go first. Something like that. I gotta look.
Guys, there's still time for you to play some NFL draft bets, and if you're gonna do it on the BetMGM app. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code PHNX. There's a couple different offers depending on where you live, but for our AZ audience, you guys are gonna get up to 100 bones and bonus bets on your first wager with BetMGM. Again, make sure you use bonus code PHNX. Also, join our Knockout Nights Cornhole League during the first Friday night of every month. They're free to enter, and it's going to include some food, some beverage specials, some giveaways, and BetMGM prizes. Not to mention, you guys get to compete against the likes of some of the folks from PHNX here. I know Team Biggie Smalls is going to be struggling to make an appearance for week 1, but we're going to rally.
I think we have a substitute.
We have a substitute?
Yeah, we'll find it.
Things you love to hear. Guys, check out the show notes for more details. And now you guys get to listen to Shane's glorious voice.
Disclaimer, 21 plus to wager. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in Washington, D.C., Mississippi, Nevada, New York, and Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369, New York. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, Arizona. 1-800-522-4700, Kansas, Nevada. 1-800-327-5050, Massachusetts. 1-800-BETS-OFF, Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help, Michigan.
Yeah.
Can I just say, CJ Stroud plus 2,500. I said this on Best the other day. As soon as the Panthers got that pick, everything you heard was that they were taking CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
And now it's plus 2,500. Why not throw a couple on it? Just because I think we always get in a situation where draft analysts over analyze the draft, and then it's just like it was the obvious thing the whole time.
Before you do what you got to do.
Okay.
Well, the obvious thing the whole time was Bryce Young.
I agree, but I'm saying. Like literally, like I said, as soon as they got that pick, everything you heard was they were drafting CJ Stroud.
Yeah, but that also might have been overanalyzing.
Cole in the chat, love this analysis. Someone's voice determining how good they are. LOL. Cole, I'm gonna ask you to rewind And I didn't say that's how good they're going to be. I was just comparing the
Well,
ways.
I think there's
No, I think
They
he's talking about me.
Are you? Was he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
because he was talking about
yeah.
he did the
Regardless,
impersonation.
don't come after my boy Shane.
So, to be fair, the best quarterback maybe of all time has one of the worst quarterback voices ever. So
Yeah,
Patrick
Patrick
Mahomes.
Mm.
I'm not talking. I wasn't talking about how because it's his deep voice. I was just saying the way
The
the
bravado.
way he carries himself.
Yeah, the vibrato determines how
And-
far he can throw the ball,
And the way you carry yourself is a really big thing if you're a professional athlete.
especially as a quarterback.
Yeah. Tua,
He carries himself.
he didn't before because he was so sad.
Yeah.
He looked at
Mike
himself in
did.
the mirror and said, "Do I suck?"
You know what doesn't suck?
Getting pizza.
Getting pizza.
Getting pizza.
Getting
Getting fresh pizza.
Mm.
Because I came to the realization today that I don't think I had ever once had Mountain Mike's like as soon as it got dropped off. And so I had been, and obviously it was good or whatever, but it had been sitting out for a little bit. Fresh Mountain Mike's,
goes crazy.
it fucks. It goes
okay.
it goes kind of crazy.
Okay.
Also the garlic bread, solid. The garlic bread was like really good, and I hadn't had it yet.
Sean
because-
and I had never had the garlic.
yeah, because I'm just like it's basically pizza. Like what am I? It's worth. No, you got to have both. It's worth it. And they got the wings. They got the salad. Mountain Mike's is a vibe. And if you haven't been there yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Get there. They got locations in Mesa, Chandler, and then in Tucson. They have lunch buffets. And if you become a diehard, you get a $50 voucher for pizza from Mountain Mike's. So head over to mountainmikespizza.com, order any of their locations, and get yourself some pizza. Shout out Mountain Mike's. Get it in you.
Get the mics in you. Guys, anything else before we get out of here?
I thought I had something, but I don't know.
D-backs
takeover.
Come to the D-backs takeover. Yeah, exactly what I was gonna say. The takeover tonight, 6:40. Link on our events page. Probably a link in the description, right?
Sure.
Right?
Sounds about right.
Right?
Link in the show notes.
It should be in the show notes.
If not, go phnx.com. Go to our events tab. It'll be in there. Pull through. Having a little pregame meetup at Cold Beer and Cheeseburgers. I'll be there. Derek and Jesse will be there.
CB and cheese.
CB and cheese. Never been to a Cold Beer and Cheeseburgers, actually.
Kind of a vibe.
If you're watching from home, tune into the Suns watch line also. I'm gonna be on it because I saw the root canal.
Ooh,
It's just
that's
crazy.
tough.
I had a
That's
root
tough.
canal.
Never.
Well, yeah, you usually don't until you're older, if at all.
You calling Saul old?
Yeah,
Older.
Yeah.
I called
Older
it
than
that.
us, yeah.
Yeah, older because I had one when I was like 23, which is not when it's supposed to happen.
Mm.
It's not fun.
No, it doesn't sound fun. Guys,
Your canal
it's
is rooted.
yeah. Give us a follow at PHNX
Love a good
_Sun
canal.
Devils.
Uprooted, actually.
Uprooted.
Downrooted? Uprooted.
Inrooted?
Canals are awesome.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
You can follow me at Anthony _
What?
Poetry. You can
Hey.
follow Shane.
Friday, hot or
And
not
Shane
topic
Deeth.
canals. We're talking
You
about
can follow
this.
Sean DePause at Sean _DePause.
Just, I mean, a fan of canals as always, I guess.
Canal elitist.
Yeah, canal. Defender of canals as always.
Guys, we'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. And snake drafts are back. Shane and I try and dethrone Mr. DePause over here.
3-0, baby. I got to take the first overall pick again because I've done it 3 straight times and I've won. So
And draft caller.
Enjoy the rest of
what?
your
I'm not drafting that.
Tuesday. Peace.
Tuesday.